Okay, so reviewing distance and midpoint. Remember, distance, we learned using Desmos. But I am going to remind you of why we get to use Desmos, because technology is great. But here, look, plot these 2 points, -5, 3, and 4, 3. Put them on the graph. -5, 3, and then 4, 3. Do you need any sort of technology to figure out how far apart those are?
Yes.
Nope. What can you do?
Just look at it.
Well, yes, but how? Count the boxes. Yeah. You can count. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So your distance here would be 9 between these 2 points. Now, I would like you to plot these two. Okay, 2, -1, and -4, 7. Okay, so that's up here. Can you count these boxes?
Yeah.
You sure? No. Mm-mm. If it's not a horizontal or a vertical line, you cannot count boxes. Okay, now option 1, which you learned, I believe, back in middle school. You guys remember a squared plus b squared equals c squared?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. You probably did. Let me remind you. So if you have a right triangle, which I'm going to make by connecting, I'm going to go straight down from this point, straight over from there. I make a right triangle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me how long this first side is, like from this dot up here down to here? Tell me how many boxes.
I don't know.
Well, take a second and count.
Oh. You can count the 7?
You're counting the boxes.
8.
I got 8. All right, so that side's 8. What about this bottom side right here? 6? Okay. So those two numbers, 8 and 6, they go in for your A and your B. So you got 8 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. Now what is 8 squared? What's 8 times 8? 64. What about 6 times 6? 36. What is 64 plus 36? It is 100. If you have 100 equals C squared, what can you do to figure out just C? Do you remember how to get rid of the squared? Not divide. What's the opposite of squaring? Square.
Not square.
Rooting. Square root. Anybody know what the square root of 100 is? What times what makes 100? That's the same number. 10 times 10. Okay, so your missing side, which is the one we didn't know the distance of, is 10. Okay, that's option 1. That is the old way of finding out how long a line is when it's not horizontal or vertical. Like you can't just count the boxes. New way is Desmos. Okay, so I'm going to remind you how to type it in. Okay, you type distance. Okay, and then you open a parentheses. Okay, you got to put your 2 ordered pairs in. Okay, these 2. So you've got a parentheses, 2 comma, -1, close it. Then here's the thing, you got to remember to put a comma between them. -4, 7, close the parentheses around the point, and then close the parentheses around your little distance formula. Okay, so here we go. Yeah.
On the not like the benchmark ending bin, is it gonna be questions like this where you can't use this much?
These should be on the calculator and Desmos active part. The distance one should be. Now midpoint, however, probably not.
Midpoint easy.
Okay, 2, -1, close parentheses, whoops, wow. Comma, and what was the other point? -4, 7. -4, 7. Close and close. Oh, well, undo.
Can we just type it in close and then type the distance? Right?
So y'all look, it tells you it's 10. Just reminding you that's how you type it in. All right, we ready? We good?
Wait. We can just type it in, we ain't gotta send no work.
Correct.
Facts.
All right, so look, for the first one, all you are doing is typing this in Desmos, now that I showed you how, okay? Distance, parentheses, put your 2 ordered pairs in with a comma between them. Close your parentheses. This is how you should type it in. Okay, is everybody getting 6.4?
Yeah.
Because look, once you already have your distance formula in there, just change the points.
It's so weird.
9, -2. All right, yep, I got 6.4. So look, just distance. Make sure you got your comma between your ordered pairs. All right, we good?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so now we've got a small word problem here. Okay, it says a large building is on fire. Fire trucks from 2 different stations are responding to the fire. One station is 3 miles east and 2 miles north of the fire. The other station is 6 miles west and 5 miles south of the fire. How far apart are the fire stations? Guys, first of all, let's review north, south, east, and west. Very funny. Okay, north, south, and then how do your east and your west go?
What's the east?
Yep, west on the left, east on the right. Okay, so if we have an ordered pair that is 3 east, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 2 north, 1, 2. Guys, what is that ordered pair?
3, 4. I mean,
3, 2. Okay, and then we've got another ordered pair that is 6 west, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 5 south, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What ordered pair would that be?
6, 5.
What kind? We went left and down, -6, -5. Now type this in with your Desmos distance formula.
does it matter which way we do it?
It does not matter which ordered pair goes first.
Got it. Do I have to draw that whole
I got 11.4.
That is completely up to you, whether you draw the picture or not. Okay.
I got
3, 2, -6, -5. I got 11.4. All right, distance about 11.4.
Ish.
Yep, ish.
Alright.
Guys, are we okay here so far? All right. Now, we've got some shapes, okay? We've got a triangle, and just so everybody's aware, okay, I'm just going to draw a small sketch. This is not going to be accurate at all, but it does say to label it RST. So you pick a point to start on and just go around the triangle,
RST.
okay? RST. Okay, the ordered pair with R is -3, 1.
Is that for the bottom?
With S is 5, -4. And with T is -6, -4. Okay, what they tell you to do is to find the length of each side. How many times do we have to use the distance formula?
4.
3 times for 3 sides,
You're right.
right? Okay. So let's do R to S first. Okay, so I'm going to use the -3 and 1, and then 5 and -4. What'd y'all get?
9.4.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to label that on my picture here, 9.4-ish for R to S. Okay, now I want you guys to find the distance for the other two. Use 5, -4, -6, -4, and then use -6, -4, and -3, 1. Go ahead, type them in.
Oh.
All right, so ST got 11, and then 5.8 for RT.
Is this supposed to rank it?
All right, so guys, we found the length of each side. I'm going to label them here. Okay, RS was 9.4, ST was 11, and RT was 5.8. Okay, now it says find the perimeter. So what do? Add them up. It was 9.4 plus 11 plus 5.8. 26.2, everybody agree? Plus 11 plus 5.8. That's what I got, 26.2. All right, now, when I say classify, I'm talking about side lengths, okay? Your options, here, I'm going to write them down, okay, are scalene, isosceles, and equilateral. Okay, do you remember the difference between all three?
One has 2 equal sides.
Okay, which one's 2 equal sides?
Isosceles.
Okay, 2 equal sides, and then what about equilateral? 3 are equal, and what about scalene? None are equal. So if you look at our picture, none are equal. Yeah, this is scalene. All right, we good with this? Good, good. All right, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit for this one. Okay, so we've got a quadrilateral. That means 4 sides, right? Now look, just because I drew a rectangle does not mean it's a rectangle. I'm just drawing a 4-sided figure. It could be a square, it could be a parallelogram, it could be a trapezoid. All of those have 4 sides. Okay, this is just a generic picture.
Generic.
All right, we are told it's called ABCD, so I'm going to start at the top left corner. It's just a choice, ABCD. Do not zigzag, just go around the outside edge. A to B to C to D. All right, got -2, 4 for A. We've got 4, 1 for B. 2, -3 for C. And -4, 0 for D. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a moment or two. I want you to find the length of each side. I have the picture. You just go in between these two, then between these two, then these two. So distance formula, 4 times.
4 times.
Go ahead.
Forever and ever.
All right, here we go. Guys, typed them all in. Okay, look, so we've got for A to B,
Shut up.
got 6.7-ish. For B to C, got 4.5-ish.
Tell me, Brianna.
Okay, yep. C to D, got that 6.7-ish again. And then for D back to A, 4.5. Okay, so if you know opposite sides are equal, they're not all equal to each other, but what kind of shape is this? If these 2 sides are equal and these 2 sides are equal?
Rectangle.
Thanks. Rectangle. All right. Here you go, Brianna.
I already did it.
Okay. Here you go, perimeter. Add them all up, what'd you get? What'd you get?
What?
The perimeter.
Oh, yeah, 67.
Okay, yep, 22.4. All right, now guys, technically we kind of jumped to a conclusion. We said it was a rectangle before knowing the slope. Guys, you need right angles to be a rectangle, yes? Okay, which means like side AB and side BC need to be perpendicular, right? If they're perpendicular, then this is definitely a rectangle. Okay, you do that by finding your slope. Okay, so if I do y minus y over x minus x for A and B, what would that look like? From A to B, y minus y over x minus x.
What?
Y minus y over x.
Yeah, for A to B.
No, 4 minus 1.
Okay, 4 minus 1 over
Negative 2 minus
negative 2 minus 4.
Set out of B. Yeah, 3.
3 over
negative 6.
negative 6, negative 1/2. Okay,
I knew that.
so that's AB. Since I'm running out of room, I'll go down here. Okay, if we got BC, okay, that's these two. What's y minus y over x minus x?
And that's not the one you gave me, so I didn't make that one.
Y minus y over x minus x for these two. Come on, guys. Thank you. 1 minus a negative 3 over 4 minus 2. Okay, what's minus a negative do? Add. So we got a 4 over a 2. So that's 2. Guys, is negative 1/2 and 2, are they perpendicular? Yep. All right. Now it says find the area. We already found perimeter. What do you do for area? Length times width. So I'm doing 6.7 times 4.5, right? Okay, what'd you get for that?
30.15.
Okay, 30.15. Everybody good here? All right. So now midpoint. Okay. This is most likely, now I'm not saying for sure it will be, but most likely not on the calculator and does most active part of your exam. Okay, your midpoint formula that you will most likely have to do by hand and without a calculator. All right, you're going to do x plus x divided by 2. Y plus y divided by 2. We're averaging the two ordered pairs. Yet again, without a calculator would be good practice because you're probably going to see this on that part of your exam. Okay, so look, I'm going to add up my x's here, which would be what plus what?
14.
What am I adding?
12, 5.
Yeah, 5 plus 9 over a 2, and then what's the y's? Negative 2 plus negative 8 over 2. All right, 5 plus 9 makes 14 divided by 2, and then what about negative 2 plus negative 8? Negative 10 divided by 2. So what's final midpoint? 7 and negative 5. Okay, so this is halfway between C and D. All right, next one. Circle drawn on a coordinate plane. Okay, if we have a circle and they tell us we have a diameter, guys, what's a diameter? Yeah, yep, in the middle across the whole circle, you're right. Okay, so it says the end points are at 6, negative 2, and at 9, negative 1. Okay, it wants the center of the circle. So your center is going to be what the diameter goes through, right? We want to find out what this point is, which isn't that the middle between these two? So yet again, average up your x's, average up your y's. What's x plus x? 6 plus 9, divide by 2. What's y plus y? Negative 2 plus negative 1 over 2. What is 6 plus 9?
6 plus 15.
15. Can you divide 15 by 2? No, not a whole number. Okay, you can't reduce it either, so I'm going to leave it alone. What about negative 2 plus negative 1? Okay, negative 3 over 2. Can't actually divide. Can you reduce? Nope. So leaving it alone. This would be our center point. Okay, next one, guys. It tells us, please focus on this one, because when we took a quiz on this the last time we went over this, this was a very commonly missed question. Okay, it says the midpoint is this. They're telling you the one in the middle. Negative 12, 5. Okay, what do they call this line segment? What's its name? Segment EA. So that means E is on one side, A is on the other side. Okay, they tell you E is at 3, negative 3. And then they want you to find A. So they tell you one end and the middle. You're trying to find the other end. Okay, this is where we figure out how much your X value is changing and how much your Y value is changing. So how do you go from 3, which is positive, all the way down to a negative 12? Okay, you do have to subtract. And you're subtracting 15. Guys, if you need to sketch yourself out a little number line, look, here's 3, here's 0, here's negative 12. Guys, how do you go from 3 to 0? Subtract 3. How do you go from 0 to negative 12? Minus 12. Put those together, makes negative 15. Are we okay with this? All right. Like I said, if you need to draw yourself a little picture, go ahead. Oh, okay. Sorry. Here you go. I'll put it back. I'll leave it there.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, how do you go from negative 3 up to positive 5? Add 8. Yet again, if you need to draw yourself a little picture, feel free. Here's negative 3, here's 0, here's 5. So you're going from negative 3 to 0. Means you're doing what? Adding 3 and going from 0 to 5. Adding 5. Total adding 8. Are we good? Okay, now that we figured out how much they change, we're going to find our other end by applying those same changes just from this middle point to the other end. So what am I supposed to do to the X value? Minus 15. So from negative 12, if I subtract 15 more, what's negative 12 minus 15 more? Okay, yeah, you technically add them up, right? They're both negative, and then just keep the negative. So this would be 27, negative 27. Okay, what am I doing to the Y value? Adding 5. So, adding 8 to 5. Okay, so what's 5 plus 8? 13. So A, which they ask for, is at negative 27, 13. Yet again, the chances of you seeing problems like this on the inactive part of your exam, like no calculator, are pretty good. So if you need to draw your pictures, draw your pictures, your little number lines.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, everybody good here? All right. Okay, we got Jax is driving from Wilmington to Greensboro. He plans on stopping in Raleigh, which is the halfway point. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sketch out a little picture. Where's he going?
Raleigh.
Okay, so he's starting in Wilmington, right? Then where's he going? Halfway to Raleigh, and then on to Greensboro. We okay with this, the order?
Yes.
All right. So they tell us Greensboro is at -2.6, and we're told Wilmington is at 10-2. And then they don't ask you what the point is for Raleigh. What do they ask you? The distance from where to where? Raleigh to Greensboro. So we're going to have to figure out the distance between these 2 points, but that means I need Raleigh, right? Because we're going from Raleigh to Greensboro.
Wait.
Distance.
On the last one, you know how you do like all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we just divide? Or like,
Are you talking about this one?
yeah.
No, we figured out how much X was changing, and we figured out how much Y was changing.
Like, I remember on the test that I cheated on, and I had to redo it. I divided, and he said like, it was right. He was right there, so.
All right, so we need to find Raleigh, which is the middle. So this is just adding up the X's, dividing by 2, adding up the Y's, dividing by 2. Okay, so if I do 10 plus -2 divided by 2, and then -2 plus 6 divided by 2. What's 10 plus -2? 8 over 2. And then what about -2 plus 6? 4 over 2. So what is our midpoint, which is Raleigh? 4, 2. Okay, so we found Raleigh. That's not what they ask us for. They want the distance, which means you need to go to Desmos and type distance. Parentheses, what 2 ordered pairs are we putting in there? Yep, 4, 2 for Raleigh, comma, -2, 6 for Greensboro. Okay, type them in. Or 2, -2, 6. What'd y'all get? 7.2. All right, distance about 7.2. Good here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, now we've got a picture with multiple points on it. Okay, they tell us H is the midpoint between E and S. Guys, if you look at your segment, E is one end, S is the other. Which one of these points is the middle? The first one or the second one? Second one. All right, so we're going to label that as H because they tell us H is the midpoint. And then they say A is the midpoint between E and H. So that's your other point here, right? A.
You know in Spanish.
All right, we are told E is at -3.5 and A is at 5.5. Okay, if I know A is the middle between E and H, what do you think we're finding first, H or S? Yeah. How do we find H? If you know one end and the middle. Okay. So guys, how much do the X values change if you're going from -3 to a positive 1.
I don't know what's negative.
Negative 3. Oh, it is a negative 1. Thank you. Before I started this. That's good. Let's label it correctly. Negative 1, 5.5. Okay, so just kidding. How do you go from negative 3 to a negative 1? Yeah, you got to add 2. Yet again, if you need to draw your little number line, feel free. Okay, how do you go from 5 to 5.5? Plus 0.5, right? Okay. We're going to do those same measurements, those same changes. So I've got negative 1 needs to get 2 added to it. Positive 1, yeah? Okay, and then 5.5 needs to get 0.5 added to it. 6. Are we okay with the ordered pair for H? It's at 1, 6. Okay. Now, how do we get point S? What 2 ordered pairs are we going to use to get S? Yeah, E, which was the far end. Okay, and then H, the one we just found, is the middle, and we should be able to get S. So here, what I'm going to do is kind of write them out separate. I've got a negative 3, 5. I've got H, which is at 1, 6, and then I'll figure out S using those. This is E, this is H. So how much does it change going from negative 3 to positive 1? Add 4. How much does it change to go from 5 to 6? Just add 1, yep. Okay, so if I do that same change, what's 1 plus 4? Okay, got a 5. And then what is 6 plus 1? 7. Okay, so we got S is at 0.57. Now what does it ask you to do? Distance between where? A and S. So what 2 ordered pairs are we using in our distance formula? What's A? Yeah, the negative 1, 5.5. And then what's S? 5, 7. Okay, put those in Desmos. Negative 1, 5.5, and 5, 7. Did y'all get 6.2-ish? Beautiful. Guys, any questions? That one has a lot going on. Okay.